What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel, where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give out takes on AEW. It is Wednesday night, October 24th. Thank you. October 24th. What am I saying? August 24th, 2022. I am by myself tonight. I am not with Wesley Williams or Cameron Johnson. I'm riding things solo tonight. What a night. Overall, I thought the show was fine. Wasn't great by any means. But I don't think in recent memory I've seen wrestling fans legit triggered, over a result that we got tonight. And it's not even the fact that Moxley's the world champion. It's the way it happened. And this proves to me and a whole bunch of people that wrestling fans are so impatient. This is going to lead to a bigger story between Moxley and Punk in the future. And you all just need to be patient about it. Just relax. These people need to relax, man. That's the big thing that happened tonight. Jon Moxley beats CM Punk in about 4 minutes to become the undisputed AEW World Champion. We'll talk about that and everything else that happened on tonight's show. But before we do, it is going to be a busy fall, ladies and gentlemen. The summer is nearing the end. I start college in nearly in 2 weeks, and I will be going back to Florida. But in 2 weeks, it is football season. Miami Dolphins football is back, and the content is going to be coming out like this during the football season. They got roster cuts next week. I plan on making a reaction video to the roster cuts that the Dolphins are making. I plan on making a video to the most important games of the Dolphins having this season. I plan on making a video of the record predictions for the Miami Dolphins. That is all before September 11th. And then, of course, previewing the Week 1 matchup with the New England Patriots. Come September 11th. And we also got AEW All Out next Sunday. Predictions for All Out. I'm not going to be doing Clash of the Castle for WWE because that Saturday is the day that I'm going back to Florida and I have a morning flight and I know I'm going to be exhausted. So I'm probably going to miss that show. And it's the first day of college football as well. So I'm going to watch some college football, I think, over Clash of the Castle. But anyway, let's get into tonight's show. Live from Cleveland, Ohio. Shout out to Cleveland. They were a great crowd, tonight. Cleveland brought the energy. They're not like Chicago, but Cleveland did indeed bring the energy tonight. The show opened up with Chris Jericho calling out Daniel Garcia, and basically Jericho was bullying Garcia. He was telling Garcia that he needed him to apologize for what happened last week. The crowd was chanting, "You're a wrestler," to Garcia. Garcia was conflicted. Bryan Danielson went out there. Basically, Jericho was bullying Garcia to make him apologize and to say that he's a sports entertainer. The crowd was chanting, "You're a wrestler," even more. And Garcia accidentally pushed Chris Jericho. He accidentally pushed Chris Jericho, and then he started to panic that he didn't mean to do that, and he was visibly upset. And then Bryan Danielson was laughing, and Jericho got offended by that, saying, I've never understood why people think that Bryan Danielson's the best wrestler in the world. He said Lionheart Chris Jericho's the best wrestler in the world. His hero Stu Hart, I can't remember what it is. Stu Hart, I think it was, taught him he knows 50 submission holds, and he's better than Bryan Danielson. And Bryan Danielson was like, you think Stu Hart would think you're a better wrestler than me? You think Owen Hart would think you're a better wrestler than me? He says, if you think you're a better wrestler than me, then let's prove it. And Jericho said, you're on September 4th at All Out. So I thought this was a really good segment. I think this is all going to lead to Daniel Garcia eventually turning on Chris Jericho and betraying the Jericho Appreciation Society, helping Bryan Danielson win this match against Jericho in some way, shape, or form. But no, this is great for Garcia. This is benefiting him a lot. And the fact that he's in the middle of the focal point of this feud between Chris Jericho and Bryan Danielson makes it 100 times better for him. So you got to love it if you're Daniel Garcia, man. He's in a big spot right now in AEW. So that's awesome. We got Jay Lethal against Dax Harwood. Really, really good match. Saw Jay Lethal pick up the victory here with a roll of the tights. After the match, Sanjay Dutt said that last week they challenged FTR and Wardlow to a 6-man tag at All Out, but they didn't say who the tag team partners were going to be. Sanjay Dutt then said that at All Out, it's going to be FTR and Wardlow against Jay Lethal, and they played a video package for the Motor City Machine Guns. Yes, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the tag team from Impact Wrestling, the Motor City Machine Guns, teaming up with Jay Lethal to go up against FTR and Wardlow. I wish we were getting a TNT title match between Lethal and Wardlow. I would rather see that, but this is better than the idea of Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh teaming up with Jay Lethal. The fact that we're getting Motor City Machine Guns and FTR in the same match, I mean, I'm totally down for it. It sounds real. It sounds dope, and I think it'll be a better match now than having Satnam Singh or Sanjay Dutt in there. I think this is better, and it's a good way to go. We had Billy Gunn and Colton Gunn, father versus son. I mean, this was whatever. I didn't really care about it. Colton beat his father, Billy Gunn. And then after the match, the Gunn Club attacked Billy Gunn, and Stokely Hathaway was in there. The Gunn Club had recently taken out the Acclaim during that match, and this led to the Guns attacking the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, and then Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland came out to save the Acclaim, but they said in the backstage interview they came out to save them because they look at them as worthy challengers. They're top 5 in the tag team division, and they want to face the Acclaim for the tag team titles at All Out. This should be a good match. I don't like the fact that we're putting the Acclaim in the situation like this fast. I think as over as they are and as great as they are as baby faces, now is not their time. If you wanted to do a triple, I mean, we get a lot of triple threats in AEW, but if you wanted to do a triple threat and put the Gas Boys in there, I would have been okay with that. But I don't know. I don't think we should be beating the Acclaim right now, and I don't think I don't think Swerve and Outglory should be losing the tag team titles. And there should be a story, a good story, with the Acclaimed chasing after the tag team titles. Against a top heel tag team, whoever that may be. And we're not getting that in this case here. So, I don't know what we're doing here. I don't think Swerve and Outglory should be losing. I don't think the Acclaim should be losing. It should be a great match, but I have no idea what's going to happen. I guess that's good, but at the same time, I don't think we should be putting the Acclaim in this situation. If you wanted them to challenge for the tag team titles and protect them, you should have just thrown the Ass Boys in there, have them take the pin. Maybe that will happen. I'm not so sure, but I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with all this mess. What was next? I can't remember. We did have some breaking news from Tony Schiavone that Thunder Rosa's injured and she has to relinquish the AEW. Not relinquish. She has to take some time off because she is injured. I don't know how she got injured. And hoping for the best for Thunder Rosa, a speedy recovery, and we are getting an interim women's champion. We had an interim world champion. Now we're getting an interim women's champion. And that's going to be contested by the top 4 in the ranking system. I like this. The top 4 in the ranking system is going to compete for the women's championship at All Out. That's Toni Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida. Right now, if I had to pick one, my money's on Toni Storm. You got Toni Storm in this match. She is one of the top female in the division. We've been there and we've done that with Britt Baker. We've been there and we've done that with Hikaru Shida. Jamie Hayter, I can't see her winning the championship. This one's got to go to Toni Storm. This match has to go to Toni Storm at All Out. But I hope for the best for Thunder Rosa. And when she gets back, the match is to unify the titles. Should be Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa. We had, speaking of Britt Baker, she went one-on-one with Kylan King. And Kylan King was from Cleveland, Ohio. She lost. I didn't watch this match. I'm sorry. I was cleaning the kitchen during this match. Britt Baker won. Pretty predictable. I just hope she doesn't win the championship at All Out because, again, I don't like Britt Baker, but we've seen it before. So we'll see what happens. And then we got the big one. The thing that everybody has been talking about tonight. CM Punk against Jon Moxley to unify the AEW World Championships. This was not the main event. This was the first match of the second hour of tonight's show. The first match. Oh boy. This gave me vibes of John Cena versus Brock Lesnar from SummerSlam 2014. With the way the match went, the goal that AEW and Tony Khan had going into this match was to shock the audience. That was their goal. And what happened? They left their audience shocked. And they played all the losers on Twitter who were triggered by this result. This is how the match went. Jon Moxley and CM Punk came to blows, fist to fist. Moxley was beating him up at the corner. Punk came back with a roundhouse kick, and he tweaked his left foot, which is his bad foot. Moxley went after CM Punk, giving him even more punches, gave him a huge lariat once Punk tried to walk on his own power with the foot. And Jon Moxley gave him a huge lariat. Gave him one paradigm shift, gave him another paradigm shift, and Jon Moxley defeated CM Punk in 4 minutes. Jon Moxley is the new AEW. He's the undisputed AEW World Champion. This was the right decision to give Jon Moxley this win. And honestly, I gotta say something too. Did people seriously think that MJF was showing up tonight? In what world was MJF going to show up in this sequence with Moxley and Punk tonight? There was none. There is none. People were saying, oh, well, what about a DQ finish? What if MJF causes a DQ? This isn't WWE, folks. AEW doesn't do DQ finishes, okay? The main goal was to shock people. That's exactly what happened. Jon Moxley kicked the shit out of CM Punk. This wasn't to the extent of the way Brock Lesnar kicked the shit out of John Cena at SummerSlam. Nothing will be more brutal. I don't think it was even close to an ass kicking like that was. That was just a straight ass kicking. Moxley was celebrating. There were a bunch of doctors surrounding CM Punk. Dr. Sampson was out there. The crowd was cheering with Moxley. The camera was zooming on Moxley celebrating with the crowd. The final visual was the doctors helping up CM Punk and CM Punk looking at Jon Moxley in disappointment while Jon Moxley is holding up the AEW World Championship. I think CM Punk is going heel. That final image of CM Punk looking at Jon Moxley celebrating with the fans. When CM Punk gets back, he's going to be a heel. And I think it's best. I think it's the best. Now, what does Jon Moxley do at All Out? I have no freaking clue. No idea. I don't know what's going to happen. But at this point, I don't know. I could say Hangman Page, but I think Hangman Page is going to be in the finals of the Trios Tag Team Tournament with the Dark Order against the Elite. That's what I think is happening. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Jon Moxley. But does he do an open... Is MJF somehow going to be in this? I don't know. I don't know, folks. You need to be patient. Wrestling fans are not patient. This is going to lead to a bigger story between these guys, which could possibly involve MJF. I don't know how, but this happened. They do. Tony Khan does things for a reason. This is not over between CM Punk and Moxley. This is not over. This is just the beginning. Moxley's the champion. Punk wasn't 100% when he came back. CM Punk is going to come back and he's going to want revenge on Jon Moxley and he's going to be a heel. That's exactly what's going to happen. And CM Punk is going to beat Jon Moxley for the World Championship. So, we'll see what happens. But you got to be patient, folks. You got to be patient and wait and see what happens. We'll see what happens. Just be patient. Ricky Starks came out and cut a fire promo. He was passionate. He was pissed off. He wanted to fight Powerhouse Hobbs, but he knew that security would get in the way and referees would get in the way. So he talks about the days that Powerhouse Hobbs was a development as Will Hobbs, sitting in the crowd, rally-tallying waving a rally towel when Britt Baker came out. So he talked about his early days, and then depending on him as a friend and Team Taz, and then he betrayed him. And the one thing he targeted was Ricky Starks' neck. Now, if you guys remember, Ricky Starks had a neck injury against Hangman Page last summer. He was out 3 months. He's lucky it wasn't longer. It was really bad. And Hobbs went right for the neck of Ricky Starks. Ricky says he wants revenge. He's going to get Powerhouse Hobbs at All Out. And this was a fired-up promo from Ricky Starks. Love the passion. Ricky Starks is great. And, I'm looking forward to the match at All Out. And then let's go to the matches on Rampage Friday night. We got Rampage on Friday night, All Out next Sunday. Trying to find it here. I can't find it. Oh well, I can't find it, and I don't remember. So, but we got All Out next Sunday. Next week should be a busy week with All Out on the channel, more Dolphins content. Matches that were announced tonight, we got the 4-way interim match for the AEW Women's Championship. Toni Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida. We got the Acclaimed against Swerve and Outglory for the AEW Tag Team Championships. FTR and Wardlow against Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. Chris Jericho against Bryan Danielson. Powerhouse Hobbs against Ricky Starks. And Jungle Boy against Christian Cage. I don't like the fact that these matches are being announced last minute. But if I'm going to be honest with you, this card looks really freaking good. And I have really high hopes. I have high hopes for this show. I think it's going to turn out to be a great, great pay-per-view next Sunday. And then finally, our main event, Will Ospreay and the Aussie Open against the Death Triangle, Pac, and the Lucha Bros. Man, I wish Will Ospreay was in AEW full-time. If this man was a full-time wrestler in AEW, I swear, man, he'd be a legend. He'd be an absolute legend in AEW. I'm not saying he's not a legend in New Japan because he's made a great name in Japan. But if he was in AEW and he wrestled the roster that AEW has, man, that would just be spectacular. That'd be absolutely spectacular, man. The match tonight, obviously, was amazing. You have 6 great wrestlers in there with Aussie Open and Ospreay. And then you have the Death Triangle. You're going to make magic. These 6 guys made magic. It was a great match. Aussie Open wins. I was really hoping the Death Triangle would win because I don't think we've seen the Death Triangle against the Elite. And personally, that's a dream match. But I'm not going to complain because we're getting Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega in the same ring for free next week in Chicago. For free. we're getting Will Ospreay and the Aussie Open against the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And the downhill started when Pac did a moonsault off the ring post to I think it was Mark Davis and Will Ospreay, and then for months or for a couple weeks now, Kip Sabian's had an eye on Pac in the All Atlantic Championship. Pac saw someone standing with a box over its head and pulled it off, and it wasn't Kip Sabian, but Kip Sabian attacked Pac from behind, and it looks like we're getting Kip against Pac for the All Atlantic Championship at All Out. So I think that should be very good. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Overall, I thought the show was fine, and All Out's looking like a great pay-per-view. So I'm about to get out of here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel if you're a wrestling fan, and if you're a fan of my Miami Dolphins content. Like I said, football season is right around the corner. 2 weeks from tomorrow night is opening night kickoff between the Bills and the Rams. I got a lot of Dolphins content coming up in the next 2 weeks. We are going to do reactions to the 53-man roster for the Miami Dolphins. So we're going to talk about games that the Dolphins have to win in order to be a playoff team this season. And we're going to do Dolphins record predictions for this season. I'm excited for football season, man. So that's all coming up in the next 2 weeks. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite? Hit the like button if you liked what you heard from me on the show tonight. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at Cullen_Joseph. And guys, I'm getting out of here. I hope you all have a good one. I will not see you Saturday. Dolphins' final preseason game against the Eagles. I will not be doing a recap for that because it's mostly going to be backups and all that stuff, and it's not worth it. So I will see you next Tuesday for my reaction to the reveal of the Dolphins' 53-man roster, and I'll see you next Wednesday as well for the AEW Dynamite review, the go-home show before the all-out pay-per-view next Sunday night, Labor Day weekend. I almost said Memorial Day weekend. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe, and as always, stay classy. We out. Peace.